Here's how we lunge with our 3-point bungee reins. It's important that the horse learns to lift in his back and carry the weight of the rider correctly. So we teach them to lunge, to strengthen and develop their top line, and to teach them about rhythm and relaxation, and getting them into a low, long, stretchy, relaxed physical frame and mental frame. Here's how we prepare the bridle so the reins don't get in the way for lunging. So the next phase is tacking up and getting the 3-point bungee reins set up. I tie up the stirrups just to prevent them from banging down on the horse. Here's our 3-point bungee reins. You can see there's a lot of give, so the horse will never feel trapped. Just down through the middle of his front legs, attached to the girth. Here the left bungee ring goes inside the snaffle to the billet strap of the saddle, and do that on both sides. Here I keep his nose right at the vertical so I can set my outside rein to keep his nose just at the vertical and not in front of the vertical. And here we tie off the rein with a quick release knot. We like to lunge in a long, low, and slow format, thinking more of the yoga mentality, like you would exercise yourself. Long and low and stretching, suppling the muscles. If your horse tends to be overreactive and bolting and taking off, just do some transitions down, keeping them in a slower mentality, in long, low, and relaxed frame. As soon as you start to trot or canter off, just bring them back to the slower gait, to a walk again, and keep them in a quieter, yoga-like mindset. I like to do a lot of walk-trot transitions to keep the horse anticipating. Going from a trot to a walk keeps the mentality of the horse more relaxed and quieter. If you notice, I keep the whip pointed at the horse's shoulder when I want him to step off of me and go on a bigger circle. And then I point the whip towards his hind end if I want him to speed up a little bit more. Also, be sure to never chase the horse into the next gate. Always require and ask them to do it from a more relaxed state of mind, physically and mentally. If they decide to take off on their own, just return them back to the slower gate and ask for a relaxed transition, especially going into the canter. Oftentimes, I just supple the lung line a little bit to get him to let go in his jaw and poll and neck to help take that tension out of his body. Here's switching direction. I also show how to go over the pole, up through the snaffle with the long line, up over the pole and clip to the other snaffle on the other side if you want to have a little bit more control of the pole. If the horse tends to pull a lot when lunging, you can also do this for those types of horses. It's less pulling on that inside snaffle bit. Oftentimes, changing direction from the left to the right is a little bit tough for the young horses. Typically speaking, most horses are stiff on the left sides of their bodies and hollow on the right, so it makes them a little harder going to the right, a little less confident going to the right, so they tend to get a little tighter and more forward and racing. So if that happens, just flex that jaw a little bit, convince them to let go in his body so he lets go in his mind, so that we can get that same rhythm and relaxation yoga type mentality going to the right as well. Again, we want the lunging to be relaxing, therapeutic exercise, not to get the energy out and to let them run fast and hard to exhaust themselves so that you can get on them. Lunging mentality should be to get this rhythm and relaxation, stretchy body, relaxed mind. The end goal is to develop the top line and to strengthen the horse's back correctly so that they carry the rider with their backs up and learning to move through their bodies in a relaxed, soft, supple way of being, mind and body. And when finished, I switch the lunge line back into that left side again. I untie both bungees, one side, then the next, and then just pull them through slowly and wrap him around his neck and tie it off to walk back to the barn or stall.